Okay, no takesy backsies. We're live now.
I said it not to go live.
Oh,
Didn't
that's
hear
too
me
bad.
say.
Your horribly embarrassing conditions will be now revealed to the whole world. No I'm kidding. This no, yeah, okay. There's sound coming out for both of us. I just had to wasn't sure for a second. Things have been weird with audio lately. I'm paranoid. But hey, we're live. Oh,
We're
hi, Hatun.
live.
Hatun is already
Yay.
Hatun is already spouting slander. So incorrect. I speak only truth here. Uh, but hello. It is we, the plural today.
Plural.
Plural. Dual in persons, but singular in mind. Not really,
Yeah.
but
Dude, what?
I think if
I don't think we've ever been singular.
I've learned though that when you're tired, I can get you to agree to anything, so that's good to know for the future.
Yeah. I, I, I am really scared. I wasn't even paying attention to what you're saying.
You're gonna have to stay on your toes. I'm gonna get you to volunteer for all kinds of nonsense.
Oh no, I'm gonna pay attention for the rest of the time.
Hi, そうしてください.
Alright.
Uh, we're gonna hi is I am Grayson, and that is Zaiga.
Hello.
Yay! See, he said the word. But yeah, we're so totally pumped and full of energy
Yeah.
for this,
I
as you can tell.
I think
Um,
we're both like out of energy.
I had plenty of energy, and then I made the mistake of having dinner, and now I've got like
Oh,
I I don't know, like I get like less energized by eating, which is I don't know. There's like a thing for that, I think. But anyway, I'm here.
yeah, like ever since I stopped drinking soda, like there's parts of the day that I just like crash.
Yeah,
Like it's been like a month since I stopped drinking soda, and like I still like crash like two or three times a day. And this is one of the times.
yeah.
I just feel like extremely tired.
I mean, I guess if it was like caffeinated soda, that is like a pretty real. Like that can take a little bit for your body to fully wean off of
Yeah.
the extra
I
sugars and caffeines and such.
Yeah, I think the caffeine was the biggest thing that I was addicted to. And I think and after like having um being without soda for a month or a little bit over a month, I could tell that it was affecting my sleep cycle when I was
Yeah.
sleeping. And I didn't realize it at the time, but it was.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is anecdotal. I've heard that caffeine like stays in your system for like up to 12 hours, I guess, depending on, the dosage and whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that can get into a sleep cycle if you're depending when you're drinking that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. I used to like go to sleep around like 3 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Oh,
Before I stopped. And then I stopped. Then I started to, and then I actually started going to the gym. And those two in combination changed it that I start going to bed around 12 and then 12 or 1 and then wake up around like 9.
oh,
9, 8:30
okay.
when I used to like wake up like around like 12 or like 11 a.m.
Wow, you're becoming so
12 or
healthy.
noon. Yeah.
You're
It's really nice. It's really nice. I feel a lot more energized, stuff like that.
that's good to hear. I'm glad that's been working out for you.
But anyway, what have you been up to?
I am here. I don't know. I guess I've been actually what I've been trying really hard to do. And I've been working. You'll be so proud of me because I've been working on this like probably the last couple weeks. I'm trying really hard to do like some spring cleaning,
Sprinkling.
and some like I'm trying to like really like declutter and get rid of some stuff. And it's been pretty good actually. I've gotten rid of like I'd say a couple of I got like a bag of clothes I need to get donated. I got a couple of boxes of junk I need to get rid of. It's like I've been just like trying to declutter a lot, and it's been good for me, even though I don't like it.
I
Or
won't believe it until I see it.
yeah, I'll believe it too once I see it. This, this might come as a surprise to people who watch my Final Fantasy streams, but organization does not come naturally for me. Um,
I
so
think we all know this.
this is why I don't open my inventory on stream because people make fun of me. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead. And by go ahead, we're gonna continue talking. I guess Zyga, what anime nail things have you been up to?
Oh my goodness. That's a loaded question.
Yeah, there's only one
I've been
correct answer,
watching
so be careful.
so much anime. Uh, I've watched like I think this season
Mm-hmm.
so far. I think I'm watching about 11 shows. Yeah, I know it's
Squeeze
not
me.
very much. I know it's not very much, but
So disappointed in you. This is an anime podcast. We don't stop until we're at least in the triple digits.
yeah. So I'm watching. I think it right now it says that I'm watching 9, but I
Okay.
think I'm going to add one more um, tomorrow. I think,
Okay.
and then maybe one more, but we'll see.
Fair, fair. Are
Um,
they ones that have not aired yet, or you just haven't considered? Yeah, you haven't tried them yet.
One hasn't aired yet, um, and the other one I've been kind of interested in, but I'm not really sure.
Okay.
So I've seen uh, Doctor Stone season 3. Uh, uh, this one called My Clueless First Friend, and then Demon Slayer season 3, Konosuba spinoff, um,
Oh yeah, that one. I forgot about that one.
A- Ancient Magus Bride season 2, um, a Galaxy Next Door, and a Skip and Loafer, which we talked about last time.
Right, right.
Yamada Kun level 999.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tonikaku Kawaii Tonikawa season 2. Those are about all the ones that I'm watching right now. And then the one that I'm going to be starting next tomorrow is Ushinoko, of course.
Oh, right. You were excited about that one. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all the ones I'm watching. And throughout this weekend I was catching up on like OVAs and like sequels from Tonikawa and Ancient Magus Bride that I missed.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot how really good Ancient Magus Bride was. It was a pretty good show.
Okay.
So like watching the OVAs like really reminded me of how great that show was. And season 2 is looking to be like really good. So also, like the other highlights that I say is probably Demon Slayer.
Okay.
Even though it's kind of like the big thing. It's the big show. Many
Right.
people think it's like overhyped. Um, I think that it's like my personal opinion on Demon Slayer is that the plot is pretty weak,
Hmm.
but it's a visual spectacle.
Okay. I could probably agree with that much at least.
Yeah,
Because I definitely did fall off with it story wise. But I mean the
yeah,
fights always were really good looking. Like
yeah. The story is definitely its weak point, but it's not like the like makes it incredibly weak.
it's no sword
It's
art online.
it's no Sword Art Online. It's just like comfort food. It's shonen comfort food, really.
That's fair. It does got a lot of those kinds of tropes.
Yeah. And I read the manga for Demon Slayer, and I liked this arc because it didn't have the yellow hair kid.
Yeah.
Forgot his name. Zenitsu. Zenitsu.
Oh, sure, the whiny scaredy cat.
Yeah, I didn't like him.
Yeah. It it perpetually surprised me how uh, durable he was, considering everything else about it. But
Yeah, so that's about it that I've been watching. Um, and like everything that seen so far, I've actually liked.
okay,
So I'm not really watching anything right now that I like don't like. So I honestly didn't think I would be watching this much, but
it happens.
it happens.
I've had seasons like that.
What about you? Have you watched this about the same much? About the same?
I definitely the number shows I've watched also has a one in it. It is exactly one.
It's exactly one.
Oh, I mean, well, technically two, because both of these continuing, I guess, because of the
It
delays.
doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Yes, I mean, and there's a few I do want to watch. In addition, like I've got a list that I'm gonna try to get through. But I did watch the most important show of the season, which
Mm.
was Kuma 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 Bear Punch. I watched episode one. I think
Did
episode
you
two
like
is
it?
also so much. Within like 30 seconds of watching it, I remembered exactly why I loved season one so much. It
Yeah.
it cured my depression, healed my soul, made me believe that humans can be saved. It's it's such a and it is such a delightfully wholesome show. Like I just like I don't know, I was just like smiling the whole way through. It's just so pleasant. I don't know, it's just a pleasant show. Like because it's just it's I mean and so far it's just more of what season one was, where it's just Yuna is just going around and just being a good person, or because like the whole show basically revolves around Yuna learning how to interact with the world around her, because before she was isekai she was basically like a shut-in who like dropped out of school and would never leave her room and
Yeah.
maybe starved to death while playing her VR game and got isekai. That's a little unclear, but anyways.
Yeah.
um yeah, so it's the whole show about how she slowly is like learning how to like interact with other people, and it's cool, it's nice, it's pleasant, and I liked season two. It was kind of like, I mean, at least episode one is mostly just like it had like a really short recap of what happened in the first season,
Yeah.
and then just like made a point of like bringing in all of those characters as quick as they could.
Oh
Just be
yeah,
like,
that
remember, it's this person and that person and this person's still here, and remember this person is like they're the gang's all here, yay!
member berries.
So
Member berries, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, it's been a couple years since season one, so they just, you know, it was nice. So that's
Well,
the
that's
show
good.
I like. Makes me
Better
happy.
watch more.
I will. I'll like it.
I'll give you a challenge to watch at least four. Just,
Four.
just watch four.
That's the number of death. What are you trying to do to me?
You can
Here,
do it. I
I'll
believe in you.
I'll watch One Hit Kill Sister. Let's see here. Magic and Muscles. I'm watching whatever the hell that is. Um, so I'm just looking around randomly now.
Well,
But anyway,
anime, anime aside, like what else have you been up to?
um, yeah. So the reason I haven't watched like really any other anime this week is because I finally did get the Shonen Jump app on my
Oh,
tablet, and I have been reading so much One Piece.
really?
I basically started back at chapter one just to kind of catch up with how the. It's actually interesting how much the show follows the manga, but also how much it it doesn't quite, or like how it kind of like I can even like with the early seasons, you can really tell how they filled out space, make the show take longer.
Yeah. So
But
the manga's pretty fast paced for One Piece.
no, it's crazy. Like the everyone's backstory happens like within one chapter rather than taking two or three episodes each.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm already up to. I just barely before we started the podcast today, I got up to Drum Island, where they meet up with Chopper. So I get like chapter 140 something.
You're gonna read the whole thing and get all the
Probably.
way to the end?
I'm definitely enjoying reading it. Like it's been way more fun to read it. So I think
Well, cool.
I'll be doing that. But
I'm glad you are um consuming at least some medium.
I am, and I like it.
That's good.
Yeah, I'll try to actually watch some anime as well, since we're doing a podcast about such things.
Yes, it's been
Feels
like how many episodes and you haven't watched a lot.
I
Every time I
watch
asked you, it's always like, I watch one show.
I look. We're
And
all
that show I watch weekly with everyone.
yeah. We look, Zaiga. We're both contributing to this podcast. Some more than others. I'm not going to name names. We're just gonna.
Think it's just me.
No. I'm there. Jubu no
Oh,
Ichi. I'm giving you my 10th.
there has been uh one other thing that I did today
Oh sure.
is that I started another gotcha game.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna roll your eyes at me.
If it's not a good one, I'm going to be very judgy.
It's called Blue Archive. You ever heard of it?
Why does that sound familiar? Is that like a new one?
Maybe
Did that one have an anime? I'm trying. That sounds really
it doesn't have
really
an anime.
like crazy. Wait a minute. No, I'm thinking
But
of I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Blue Reflection. Blue Reflection. Anyway, Blue
yeah,
Archive
Blue
is different.
Reflection was a video game. I played
Okay.
that.
Okay. Never mind. What's Blue Archive then? It's Gotcha Hell.
It's just a gotcha game with cute girls,
Yeah.
and that's about it.
So
It's kind of like
you're two
eh,
timing on near now.
well, so like with Near, it's like I can do everything in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Near reincarnation. It's like my account is so advanced in that game that um nothing is really a challenge aside from maybe like one thing, and I don't really need to do that one thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of just like logging in every day and getting free the doing the daily quest and then log off. Takes like 5 minutes.
Okay.
So I haven't really been playing it very much, and so was like, I kind of want a new mobile game just to, like, pass the time. Because I like having at least like one game on my phone that I could just like pull up and pass the time whenever I'm like doing something away from my house, or if I'm
Okay.
like if I have like a second, I could pull it up or something like that. Like
Hmm.
having at least one of those things. So I started this Blue Archive game. The artwork and stuff is fantastic. The gameplay is pretty interesting, I guess.
Okay.
It's kind of like a pseudo tower defense, but you're like going and attacking,
Hmm.
and each of your like units has like different cards, flash abilities that you like click on,
Hmm.
and yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Fair. Fair.
And I don't know if I'm gonna keep with it or not. I might, but uh, I'm not gonna spend any money.
What? You gotta get the SSR pluses or whatever they got though.
No, I can't. Like,
Don't you want a chest full of gemeralds?
I've only spent money on a gotcha game at least maybe like 3 times, 4 times on Near Reincarnation.
Couple $100 each time.
Um, Not that much.
Okay.
But I have spent money on that game mostly because like I played it for free for so long, and like I really wanted to support the developers, because I would hate for that game to get shut down because I love the community I'm in. So
That's good.
anyway, that's a side tangent.
All right.
Sorry for the side tangent.
Now, what are you
But
thinking? No tangents allowed. We're highly focused around here. How dare you? Minus 10 anime creds from you.
what if you started Blue Archive and then played it with me?
The question for we can post the question in Discord. Should we play gotcha games?
Hey, you could play it with me. You
I could.
could share like account information.
Oh boy, why? Yeah, why not? Oh boy. Yeah,
Anyway, so what is today's topic?
I've already forgotten. Um, no wait. Oh yeah, we're talking. I checked the thumbnail. We're talking about Japan. So yeah, that's why we have a thumbnail. Didn't have that
Oh yeah,
with our audio podcast. Now I got a picture that tells me what we're talking about.
talking about Nihon, that old Nihon,
Yeah, the Nippon.
Nippon.
Yeah, is my dad insists on calling it every time I mention anything about it.
The tune plays a Utano Prince song. Is that a gotcha game?
Uteno Prince. Why have
I
I
think it
heard
is,
that?
right?
Sounds really familiar. I
Yeah,
don't know. Like all those gotcha games, like I feel like I see the ads for them constantly, but so like it all kind of like blends together in my brain.
rhythm gotcha. Okay.
Rhythm. That sounds kind of interesting. A little different.
Tony
Yes.
Racing, you have to get one.
No, I did actually play one for a while. I think I did kind of give up on it because it started getting really grindy.
Yeah,
But
they usually do.
I mean that's the inevitability of them, right? But I used to play Destiny Child because
Destiny Child.
that's one I always hoped it would get an anime because it's actually got I would say an above average story for a gotcha game, but it still is essentially a gotcha game. But you That I guess the main reason I liked is because like the main protagonist you play as actually is like an important character in the story, in the sense that
Mm.
he's like a named character. He's not like just like a blank faced like this is your insert character for having your own harem. Like he's actually like an integral part of the story, and it's like has his own like voice dialogue and everything.
Huh.
But I don't know. It's extremely grindy, so I gave up eventually. I wish I could find like a streamer who play that maybe. I like still get the story. But anyway. Uh yeah. Hi.
Yes,
Japan. That's
Japan.
Japan is a place.
Nippon.
Yes. The this is the land of rising suns. Oh, we should play Tower of Fantasy. You're right. Anyway.
Oh yeah, that was the one that I was telling you that we should play together.
Yeah, I think you actually did suggest that to me once, which and again, like I really don't know anything about these games. I mean, I'm willing to try things. I'm never gonna say like no outright, but if it's worth a try, it's worth a try. We'll discuss this. We'll discuss this further.
Honkai
We'll
Star Rail.
we'll 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 do a gotcha episode.
Do we? I probably have the most experience with that,
That'll be fine.
even though I've only played 2 games.
No, we'll make it a
Three.
challenge. Make it a challenge episode. We each pick one gotcha game. We get $1,000 spending limit and see how far we get.
Oh, oh no, 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 no.
Isn't that like
No,
the
no,
trash
no, no,
taste
no.
thing, right? We're gonna do some stupid thing with them stupid amount of money we can waste on it.
Oh my gosh, that would be oh, that would be the worst.
Yeah,
That would be the worst episode. That would just be like throwing money away.
of course it is.
Then
We
if I like spent like $1,000 on a game, I would like. Actually, I probably have. I probably have spent $1,000 on Final Fantasy.
I was
If
gonna
you add
say
up all of the if you add up all the monthly transactions that I got from that.
because I was gonna say like you've been subscribed for how many years that does add up.
Yeah, it does add up.
Even if it's like not quite $200 a year, you've probably been playing for more than five.
Yeah, I've been playing for 9 years, I think.
Oof,
I want to say it's 9 years.
man! Imagine
I'm
what you
in game. I'm in game right now, and if I do slash play time,
you're playing games on our very important podcast.
it says 474 days, 1 hour and 50 minutes.
That's very impressive, but minus 20 podcast points to you for multitasking. How dare you?
I'm AFK in the game. Okay, I am waiting for my submarine to come back.
Okay.
It says it will come back in 1 hour and 30 minutes. So we
Yeah.
have an hour and 30 minutes.
Submarines in a fantasy game. Sure, sure. Whenever you say, boss.
So what is it like to live in Japan?
Um, it's an island. We're gonna start with geography. It's east. Is it south?
So in Japan two, there are 4 islands.
Careful.
So four big big islands or whatever.
Yes.
You have the Hokkaidos, you have the Honshus, you have the Kyushus, and then you have the Okinawas.
Is Okinawa considered part of the big? I guess it kind of is. Yeah, Okinawa is sizable. I mean, it's much smaller than the others, but it is technically an island. Well, it's not.
So
But anyway,
I guess we give everyone the background of like how, because we met when we were in Japan, right?
this is true.
And
I f-
uh
we may have touched on this briefly during episode one, but I can't remember to what extent we did. But yes, we did meet in Japan.
yeah,
And we,
we met when we were in wasn't it Yamaguchi again? Yamaguchi.
I guess that would have been the Ken. Yeah, Yamaguchi. Yeah, it would have been because yeah, that's just above or over to the side of Kumo. Yeah, okay. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we lived in Shunan,
yeah.
or
Shunon,
uh, or as it used to be called, uh, Tokuyama.
Tokyo. That's right. Yeah. See, you remember names a lot better than I do. Like I'd have to like consult my address book.
Well,
Like
I did go last November.
that would help.
That would really help.
Does it still look like Tokiyama? That's the word.
Tokuyama.
To, to,
Tokuyama.
Tokiyama.
It did. It looked the exact same as when I left it,
That sounds about right.
except the uh Shoten guy was a lot more empty.
So sad. It was already like more than half empty when we were there.
It was like
So
even more
depressing.
empty.
So depressing.
It felt like like an Akia or something like that, just like an abandoned area.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, it was
it's
sad.
yeah, it's one of those parts of Japan. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you know, it's
there's a
right next to the Eki too, which like it would make more sense that there would be like a lot more shops, but there isn't.
right. Well, I mean, I think because I mean, being next to an Eki is good and bad. That like if you're like a destination place, then it'll be popular. But if there's like a cooler place just like one or two stops away, people are just gonna go there instead.
Yeah,
But it is sad. There's a growing number of cities in Japan like that where they're shriveling up kind of. It's a shame.
yeah, and I feel like Tokyo is one of those. Like even though that there's a Shinkansen stop now there,
Hmm.
um, still feels like that it's an Inaka town, or it's becoming an Inaka town.
Right. It's middle of nowheresville, but
Yeah.
unfortunate. But yeah, we met in this bustling metropolis of Japan, deep deep in nowheresville of Yamaguchi Ken,
Yeah.
and that's where everything really started going downhill in my life.
Did it? No, I should be saying that.
Oh, what I brought culture to our apartment. I think.
No, because I like went up to you and then I said I was like, "Do you like anime?" And then you were like, "Yes." Then I was like, "What is your favorite one?" And then you said Orimo, and then
Yeah,
I was extremely disappointed.
yeah. As I recall, I think you actually decked me immediately.
No, I didn't. I did not. I did not.
This is how it goes.
I was this close though. I was
Yeah,
so close.
yeah. This is my
I saw
memory.
red for a moment.
Yeah, my memory was that I I was bright eyed and bushy tailed and all excited to meet my new roommate, and you come sprinting up to me in a huff of anger and rage. You knocked me clear through the wall into our neighbor's apartment. That's exactly what happened. Anyway, I'm pretty good at remembering things.
Yeah, no, that's not what happened.
But yeah, so we met and we lived. I think we lived in the same apartment for not even that long, actually. I think about it, but then like we just happened to run into each other like right after again. But we lived there like maybe 2 months ish,
I think it was 2 months.
like give or take.
Yeah, it had to be 2 months, I think.
Yeah.
We didn't get any work done.
No, we were incredibly unproductive. Yelled at would be a strong word, but I do remember the weekly call being rather stern.
Really.
I mean, not super bad, but I think by that point, Kaich had given up on me anyway. That's another story. Um,
Yeah, and I was just so tired because of my like last my last roommate was pretty nice, but I was like just so tired at that point that I was
yeah,
just like I'm ready to just chill at the moment. I just want to take a moment and just chill. So then when you came around, you were just like, we can do whatever. And then I was like, sweet, let's do whatever.
yeah. But anyway, we were no one. Uh, Officially, we were so responsible. I don't want to. Don't call my Kaicho on me. I'm still scared of him. um, yeah. So we got a we lived together for a couple months. Then I think where was it? Was it Kumamoto? We met up next. I think.
Yeah, we met up in Kumamoto.
Yeah, we just
We were
happened
in
to.
the same like area, kind of.
Yeah, so we happened to run into each other every now and then over there.
Yeah.
And then, wouldn't you know it, but coming back to the US of A, you live in the same stupid town that I live in.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah. There I am just minding my own business at Walmart when suddenly someone comes sprinting down the aisle at me full tilt, knocks me clean through six of the frozen goods fridges.
Yeah, don't listen to him. That's not what happened.
This is definitely canon.
No.
Anyway. But no,
What
yeah, it was
happened
we.
was what happened was that when I got back, no, I think we talked about when we were in Japan that we were from the same area.
No, yeah, I think we happened to figure like, oh, wow, we like live really close to each other apparently, or
Yeah, and
by sheer
then
happenstance.
and then I was telling you about like our like Blu-ray like viewing group where
Yeah,
we watch Blu-ray anime,
right, right.
and I was like, "Hey, come and join our group." Since I came home like around the same time you came back.
Yeah, I think it was only like maybe like a month or two different. It wasn't too much different.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that different. So, um, yeah, and then you started coming over to my family. Well, not my family, my my
Yeah, you
friend's
introduced me to your
thing.
parents.
No, no, this is not what this is about. Okay.
Okay, sure. But no, yeah, so like
Um,
yeah, just met
yeah,
kind
we
of.
started watching anime in that group, and then I like moved into your place, your apartment, and then moved out,
Yeah,
and
you
then
you
everything started
abandoned
going
me.
downhill.
Yeah, but but yeah, so anyway, Japan is a country.
But yeah, Japan. I think was like it's still my dream to like go back and live there. Like
Hmm.
that's kind of like my hope. Yeah, it's like a small hope, but um, I really enjoy just the atmosphere of the
Hmm.
entire place. Um, and just the convenience of everything is very nice. Convenience in a different way, because like here in the US, it's like all about like car driving places and stuff like that, and like your car is basically your life. You're
Right, right.
you're like tied to it, especially in like the city that we live in, like here.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, whereas it's kind of like the opposite in Japan. Like it's all about like public transportation and everything's around that public transportation. And there's a lot more of those convenience stores and stuff like that, which I really liked. Ooh, sorry.
Good.
And yeah, I just really like it over there. And I went in November. I went for three 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, I think, or
Hmm.
maybe it was 2.5 weeks. I think it was 2.5 weeks, and I went by myself and had like an amazing experience going to some places that I've never been before, as well as revisiting some of the places that I lived in, like Tokuyama, like we said before, and a lot of other places.
Hmm.
But what are your like overall like opinions on Japan? Like,
I mean, I do agree. Like, I really miss like a lot of things about like how Japan is structured. Like the transportation there was always really convenient for getting from A to B. I miss combinis deeply. Combinis are the best.
oh yeah, I miss those too.
I miss the days when I could walk into a 7-Eleven or a Family Lawson and leave with some bizarro ice cream treat that would never exist in America. Um,
I what I miss is going to the convenience store and grabbing one of those like sandwiches.
oh, they had like, I mean, so many things there were so tasty. Like,
Yeah, or like sandwiches or bread.
right.
They usually had like a giant like bread section.
Yeah, a surprising amount of bread for Japan. Because they don't really, that's not like your first thought, but like bakeries and like, because there's always bakeries too. Like, like the convenience would have a huge bread selection, but then there'd be like a full blown bakery probably only a block or two over. Like,
You like did you there's that one type there's this one bread that I really liked. It had like uh chocolate in the middle.
hmm.
It was kind of like cone shaped kind of a thing.
Oh, those things. Yeah,
Yeah,
those are.
I
I
forgot what
can't
are those
remember.
called.
I mean, I never learned the names of any of those things, but that one was a good one. I liked the. There's always like one that seemed like it seemed kind of sketch because it was not refrigerated, but like you could get like a sausage was like wrapped up in bread, kind of like a pig in a blanket style. But the sausage was like cured, so it didn't need to be refrigerated. And so it was just
Mm,
sitting there in the bread aisle too.
it was a thanks Hatun. It was a cornet. That's what it's called.
Whoa,
Cornet.
Hatun knows things. Hatun, you can have all the points that Zaiga's lost so far. Cherish them.
Chocolate cornet bread. Yeah, that's what it was. Oh, that was
See,
so good.
yeah, those are tasty. I always loved. I mean, the melon pond is a classic. Melon pond I was always very tasty.
Yeah, melon pun was good.
I always loved the mons. I'd always go get a mon at the counter.
Nikuman,
Yeah, or like the
the
Nikumon,
currymon.
Currymon, the Pizzamon. Um, if you're feeling bold, I can't remember which place had it, but there's one of them that sold Ramenmon, which like
Ramen mom.
Ramenmon, which had broth in it too. So you had to be careful not to spill it on yourself. That was
That sounds nasty.
it was so good because it was
Was it?
basically like. Have you ever had like a soup bowl? Love soup bowls. That's basically what it was. Where like the ramen broth just like soaks into the mon bread. So tasty.
I don't think I've had that.
But I mean, and ramen is or mon is basically just like a it's like a meat bun or like a whatever inside of a bun. Like
Yeah.
you could find most any basic food type in a mon form. Like I think I'd even seen like spaghetti mon in one place. I never tried that one, but that's the other thing.
Wow.
Like, because like since they always had like there's like an obsession with like limited time foods or like seasonal foods, and
Yeah.
so like you could like run into like the craziest, most delicious thing like one day, and then it would be gone the next day and forever. It was just like
Yeah.
it'd be like a one day or like a 1 week thing that they were doing just so briefly.
Yeah, no matter how good it is or how much it sells, they just get rid of it.
Yeah, it
Like
is.
the one thing that I really liked, there was this one like sparkling peach drink that was at uh a convenience store.
Mm.
And every time and it like appeared one day, and then I went over and got it, and it was like mind blowing
Yeah.
because I like never had it before, and it was like freaking amazing. And then like for like a week or so, I like every time we would go, I'd get one, and it would like make me so happy. And then for some reason, it disappeared one
Yeah.
day. They like never had it again, and I was so depressed because it was like the greatest drink ever, and then it was gone.
No, yeah, there are so many times where that'll happen, and it's like it is rough. Like I mean, it's definitely like somewhere like after like I don't know 5 or 6 months, like when I learned this was kind of the pattern. It really like, and this was problematic. I mean, it basically turned me into like a hoarder. Whenever I came across something like I liked, I would like buy way too much of it just because like it could be gone any second. And so
Yeah, that's true.
I'd get a bunch to like stick in the fridge or something. Yeah, because there was always like I mean, because I've talked about them, because like there's like the Black Thunder, which is one of the greatest candy bars ever made,
Oh
and
yeah, it
they're
is.
and once a year 7-Eleven over there will do strawberry Black Thunders, which um I assume is the closest we'll ever get to knowing what the manna from heaven tastes like from the Bible. I mean, it's so good.
Was it really that good?
I mean, my memory makes me say it was delicious because it's basically a strawberry Oreo candy bar. Which how can that not be delicious? But
Dude, that actually sounds really good. A Black Thunder strawberry.
yeah, yeah, it was my favorite thing, and it was like a thing. It was like they only did it. I can't remember. It was like early spring. I want to say like March or something. Like a couple of weeks, they'd have it at Black at or at 7-Elevens.
Yeah.
But and there's also like the. Did you ever like do any of the? I don't know what you'd call them. Like I guess like a kind of like a sweepstakes where they would do like you could like buy certain foods and be like entered in like and you'd get like tickets for like prizes whenever they would do like crossover events like different like things. Did you ever like do any of those?
Mm, no, I don't think I did any of those.
I didn't do very many, but there were a couple I got into. Like I remember for a while they were doing a limited time one where like certain boxes of Pocky and Pretz would get you tickets to do a Square Enix raffle, and there was just like different possible things you could get. And I think I won a Final Fantasy chocobo themed mouse pad. I think was the coolest thing I got.
You actually get one?
Yeah, I still have it somewhere. It's the most useless mouse pad in the world. It's the size of a mouse, so I
Oh
don't
wow.
ever use it. But I won it, so I felt cool. I also got a calendar, I think, which I probably still have that somewhere too.
Huh.
But
I only remember seeing like the promotions where you get like a clear file folder or
oh
something
sure,
small like that.
yeah, they would. I mean, that's the thing is like they'd always have like always like fun crossover promotions. Like there were those a lot where it's like spend $10 and you'll get this thingy or whatever. Or like,
Yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah.
did you ever buy those crappy wafers that came with cards?
Crappy wafers that came with
They're
cards.
like the worst, most nastiest, like I guess they were going for like chocolate flavored like wafers,
Yeah.
but they'd cost like $1 and you get like this gross yucky cookie that you don't eat, you just throw it away, and then it would come with a cool card though. And depending on
Yeah.
whatever the thing of the month was, like I probably still have some. I have like a tin full of these like wafer cards. It's just like for a whole bunch of different anime. Like I remember for sure, like one of them was like Love Live that they did for a while. I think I've got a whole bunch of like Legend of Zelda ones they did. Um, I don't know, it was just like a thing where like it was like a they'd come out like maybe like 10 cards at a time. Be like, oh, collect the whole set. Some of them are super rare though, and
I want to say like maybe you showed me those cards
that's that.
when we were over there,
Yeah, I mean
and then
that
maybe I gave you mine because I don't really have any cards.
that could be. So that was definitely like I don't know. I'm a sucker for collectibles. It's a real problem. Like
That's something that Japan does like really well. I think
yeah,
is they really know how to market stuff.
mm-hmm,
They really know how to like uh get you with like whatever series or something like that. Like they usually have like limited time cafes
oh
that are
yeah,
tailored to like a certain show or a limited like little pop-up stores.
right,
Um like when I went to Japan, I went to the first place that I went to last November was Fukuoka. And I was just like going around in one of the malls. I believe the mall was called Canal City.
mm,
And in that mall, they had like a Kirby cafe that I went
oh,
to.
that's kind of cool.
It was like Kirby themed and had like there was like a merch thing right outside of the and right inside where the registers were. So you could get like all this fancy Kirby cafe merch.
Hmm.
And um and then they would go bring you inside. You could like sign into this like Nintendo uh uh it was like a sign-in pad or something. You could get like free Nintendo points or something.
Hmm.
Something like that. I
Okay.
unfortunately didn't have any of the I forgot I didn't really have a Nintendo account. So I like passed on that. But they like set you inside and then you like open up the thing and there's like all of this like different Kirby like um drinks and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Um but like not only that, like i- in that mall there was like a JoJo's pop-up store
Oh.
that came out as well. And I went over there and looked and then they have like this like giant JoJo's um, cutouts of like all of the JoJo's main characters, and then a chair right in the middle that you could sit in and take pictures with. And then they had like different little. They had this little shop like celebrating JoJo's.
Hmm.
I found like there was like a bunch of those that would just like pop up, and then they'll be there for like a month or two, and then be gone.
Yeah, it's
You
such
know,
a yeah, like just a very different like I don't know. I guess it is kind of marketing because it's so limited. It probably does encourage people to spend way more than they ever would otherwise.
yeah.
And it just
And
like makes it fun and exciting and different.
yeah, so I watched this guy, this IRL streamer.
Mm.
Um his name I'd recommend it to anyone. Him to anyone. His name is Rob CD.
Okay, yeah, you've mentioned it before.
Um yeah, he just like goes around and uh he like lives in Tokyo and kind of does like stuff, goes around to different stores and stuff. He like looks at different pop-up stores that come out
Hmm.
a lot of the times. Like there was like a Bochi the Rock one that he went to at one point.
Hmm.
Like usually in new animes, they have like pop-up stores as well.
Oh, sure. Part of the promotion.
Yeah. And I feel like that's something interesting that I wish we had more here in the US, like more like those like uh more merch for things. Like
Right.
for example, like when I went to go see, I think I yeah, I went to go see two movies when I was in Japan. I
Mm-hmm.
saw Suzume no Tojinari,
It seemed like
Suzume, and then I saw that time I got reincarnated as a slime movie.
wow.
And what I felt was really cool was that outside of the theater, like right before you're about to go in, like to like right next to the door, this giant like merch section that
Mm.
has like uh stuff from Slime or stuff from Suzume or stuff from past Makoto Shinkai works.
Hmm.
And they're just like little small things that there's merch there. And I really wish that our like theaters would do that. Because that
Right.
seems like a great way how to just make some like quick money. You like come
Right.
out of the theater, you think that movie was so great, and then like, oh look, there's like an Avengers pen or something right there, or
Yeah,
like
like a little keychain even, or
a little keychain even, or something like that. You know?
that's true. It's like the most I can ever think of is like sometimes like maybe like for Marvel or for Star Wars they'll have like, oh, we got like a special soda cup, a collectible soda cup or something.
Yeah,
That's like the most you'll ever see. It really is kind of a waste because I don't know, people. I mean, because movies are so expensive. Anybody that's going to movies is like they're probably willing to spend a few extra bucks to buy other merch and things. And
yeah,
like, I already spent $50 on the big tub of popcorn. I'll buy your little plushie, whatever. Like,
yeah. I feel like just Japan has like marketing down to like a science,
right.
and they're like super good at it. Because like every time you go into like a store or something, there's always like either when I was there was like something like Demon Slayer or something Jujutsu Kaisen or something Tokyo Revengers or One Piece. Any of like those like big shows, I would just see something from that
Mm,
anywhere. And um it just amazes me like how much like power like anime has over there. Like when we're over here, we're kind of like in this bubble, you know,
right.
and um, we don't really interact with anime outside of like our own places for the most part, unless it's like a convention or something like that.
Mm,
Because you rarely see like anime stores nowadays,
that's
in the U.S.
true.
at least.
No, yeah. I mean, the most you'll see is like, there might be like a section of stuff like if you're like at a EFY or like Hot Topic or something like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
they'll have like a handful of like the biggest, most popular ones.
yeah.
But
So I feel that like that was like the best thing whenever I was over there. It's just like it's such a different environment that I'm used to, and I just love it Really it makes me like want to go back more and more often because it
Mm,
just feels like I know I only lived there like only like like maybe like 8 months,
mm,
but there's just like certain things that just feel like it's like home whenever I go there.
sure, sure.
It's this weird feeling. I
Hmm.
don't know if you well you haven't been back.
No, I do want to go back. And like maybe like once I do go back, it'll change. I guess how I feel about like because like personally, like I don't know if I'd ever want to live in Japan. Like I really super want to visit there, and I'd love to be able to visit there regularly. Like I don't know if I'd ever want to live there again per se.
Yeah, I
But
remember you telling me your reasons. Like, can you like remind me of them?
sure, I mean I guess. But whoa, uh, Kathy, wow, thank you for the raid. I don't even
Oh,
have
awesome.
my. Oops. Wow, hi. I don't even have my raid thing activated right now. I just realized. But jeez, thank you for howdy.
Oh, great.
We're just talking about. We're yeah. Wow, I forgot that was the thing that happened. Hey, how's it going? Let me.
You
How's
can
it?
take a second. You can take a second, chill.
Yep, no problem.
Ugh.
Uh, hey, Kathy, it's been a second. How are you doing? Yeah, we're actually just talking about because I'm talking with my friend Zaiga here about because we used to live in Japan, and so we were just kind of talking about that kind of stuff. You were playing One Shot. Nice. What do you think about that game? Actually, I've never played that one. I've heard really good things about it. But hello to X Fox and Terrace, Chicken Beer. Howdy. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. Hope y'all had fun over there. I've heard that One Shot is really cool. Kathy's really good going for the true ending. Oh, nice. Really, yeah, I've heard that game's kind of. I mean, I think it got compared. I think to Undertale a lot because it came out not too long after. But I mean, I did like. I love the art style of that game. I really do want to try it sometime. Really recommend it to Kathy. Okay, I'll definitely have to give that one a check. I think I've had that on my wish list for like 5 years now over in Steam. Oops. But that's awesome. Yeah, we've just been talking about how uh, I don't know, just our time living in Japan because so my friend Zyga there, the dark suited tall glass of water. I don't know. I think he bounced for like I scared him. See, but anyway, um, ass got him back.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I'm really sleepy. But no, yeah, we met in Japan and we're friends and such, and we were just talking about how what it was like living in Japan. And Terrace said, "I demand Kathy play One Shot." And Terrace, you're a good person. You make reasonable requests. But yeah, so we were talking about how we met there, and Zygo wants to go back there and live there, and I don't. But I guess
Yeah.
that's kind of as I was finally about to get into. I guess the reason like I didn't want to like I wouldn't necessarily want to live in Japan um, is just because I personally never felt fully like I was. I like even like I lived because I lived there for like 2 years, and I never felt like I was fully like like a resident. I guess like I don't know like because the thing about like when if you live in Japan and you're not Japanese, like I mean maybe like if you live in Tokyo it's different because like they're very used to seeing gaikokujin or whatever foreigners and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like a lot of like the more rural areas that I lived in during my stay there, like I never fully felt like I was fitting it, not in the sense of like because I could speak Japanese fine and I knew my way around town. I could do all the things, but people were always like so surprised to see like a guy Kokujin, and like no matter how often I went to the grocery store, people would always like be like trying to like say things in English to me, and like, and it was just like this like weird thing, like because they were being really like polite and nice about it, but like there was just never this point where like I felt like I was like I was constantly being treated like I was a visitor. Like I was like, oh, you're definitely not staying here, right? Like you people like you visit for a week or two. You don't stay in Japan. It was like this like very strange like vibe that I
Yeah,
would get. And it's not like it wasn't like a mean thing either. It was just like this like genuine, just like, and the other thing is like they never expected to know Japanese. That always like threw them for a loop. But
yeah, that's true.
it's like, and maybe like if I had been like in a bigger city where it was more normal to see like other people, maybe it'd be different. But it was always just it was always just like so strange. Just like at least like living out like it's almost like I would hate to live in a big city. Maybe that's part of it. Like I would want to live out in the boonies if I lived in Japan because it's so beautiful out there. Like the mountains and like because I think at least like in southern Japan, it's very not jungly, but like it's it's got like really like thick forests. Or thick with a double C. Like there's the nature. There's like the nature just like grows in really. It's like really lush and beautiful, and like during the rainy season, it's just so green. And the spiders are as big as your head, and they will completely envelop your bike in webs if you leave it alone for more than 5 minutes. And it's I just love because I lived out in this place. I think I've joked about this before with you. So I lived in Hamada, which is the most nothing happening boonies prefecture of Japan, probably, except maybe for Saga, which has been made
Yeah,
famous for being Nothingsville thanks to Zombieland Saga, the anime. But Hamada Ken is nothing. Or I guess it's Shimane Ken, but then Hamada is like the biggest city in. It's quote unquote the big city. It has a whole whopping 12,000 people living there. It is the big times. I loved living there because it was like so. It just I know I love that small town feel. Even though I was literally, I think there's one other white guy living there while I lived there because we'd pass each other on bikes occasionally, and we'd always like get scared by each other. It was like, oh, it's the other white guy. Oops. Um, but no, it was. I loved those areas. Like it was just, I don't know, so nice. And the people are always nice too. It was just, I don't know, it was always just like a little, like I was never quite one of them. I guess I don't know. I don't know, it's interesting, but I do love Japan. I'd love to go there and just feel like kill time, like doing like hiking around in the mountains or something there. That'd probably be the thing I'd love the most. But anyway,
there's a hotel for $64 a night in Hamada.
I had that. You know what? That's that's probably a bargain. Well, that is a bargain actually. But yeah, there's friggin' Hamid is so sad. I think I've talked about it before. Like their only claim to fame is that the mangaka, the writer for the series Gegege no Kitaro, uh, was
Yeah,
born was born in Shimane-ken. I mean, that's it's a classic manga series. Don't get me wrong. Like I consider that one like I mean, and not just me consider, but like I think it's generally regarded that's like the manga that saved yokai. Like it preserved yokai in Japan in a way that nothing
really.
else really has, at least at that time, because that manga is like from like the 50s, early 60s, and and that's the problem. Is like that's the last cool thing that's happened in Shimane Ken was like 70 years ago. That's like their one claim, and that's there's like the Eki there, the train station. At least like when I was there, like it had like this like, huge like display it was a miniature model of the train station, but then it was like fully decked out in like Gegege no Kitaro like figures. It was like kind of like a reimagined version of the station,
That's
like in the
cute.
style of like that manga. It was really cool. Had all the little like yokai and stuff floating around in it. Like I mean, like they they're proud of their one thing they have. So good for them. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. How are you doing,
Yeah,
Zyga?
I'm trying
Yes.
to see they. I was just looking at Hamada Station
Oh, sure.
pictures, and I don't really see any Gege no Kitaro stuff. Maybe they took it down.
I mean, it was just like it was like at least at the it was just like the one model. Like it wasn't like everything was covered in it, but like it's just like one of those things. Like if you walk around the city, like I'm trying to think what you'd call those. I guess they're kind of like parking blocks. They're like things along the sidewalk here, and they keep like cars from like going over onto the sidewalk and whatever. And they would have like little things on the tops of them, and they'd have I don't know. There was
I wish I
this.
could show you this picture. I wish I could share this picture. Maybe I could do this. Maybe I could do this.
What are we trying to do?
Is this kind of what it looks like? Here, I'll DM you this.
Sure.
You can pull it up.
I might be able to.
Was Hamada Station? This one.
That looks right. This is not crap. Well, it's not wanting to pull up on the.
Here's this link. I don't know if this link would work.
Ooh.
It's a long link.
Well, the problem is like I just want to copy the. Here, let me try this, and then I'll go
This
here.
other link is the Google Maps link.
Gosh, of course it's trying. I don't want to open up Discord. Just give me the F. Just give me. This is not going to work because it wants to open my default browser, which I'm not connected to right now. And it won't let me just copy the link. It wants me to copy.
Try the Google one.
That work? I don't know. Stop. There it is. I think it's not. Oh wait, hold on. Let me wait. And go away, Todd.
Are you okay?
I think I figured it out. I got it. We're doing we're doing science.
Are you okay?
I did it. It's just a screenshot, but I got it. Man, I actually kind of fixed this place up since I've been there.
Yeah, it looks like from like the pictures on Google Maps that it looks pretty new.
Yeah, I wonder because oh no, has it been 8 years ago when I was in Hamada?
I think it
But
had to be.
yeah, probably. But no, yeah, it's it's hard to recommend this place as far as like any kind of touristy reasons. It's really nowheresville, but I liked living there. It was a fun few months.
Yeah, it seems like it does seem like the Inaka places are very nice. Because like Tokiyama was kind of like that, and it was kind of like chill, like around everywhere. Nothing really going on. But I do kind of agree with you that you kind of feel like you're like a stranger, kind of, even though if you've like lived there a long time and you've like gotten the language down. you still get treated differently,
Right. I
and
mean,
it's unfortunate, but I
yeah,
really can do
it's really hard to put in words. Like you'd almost have to like experience it yourself, because like, because again, like it's nothing like it's not like in a negative way. Like it's just like they're trying to be like really nice and inclusive, I think, in a way, but they do it in a way that makes you feel like you're actually not being included. It's so
that. Yeah,
it's hard to put my finger on it exactly.
I feel like the only places that I didn't feel like that were whenever I was in Osaka or Tokyo.
Hmm. And that would kind
But
of make sense, because I'm sure like there probably are lots of people that live there year round. I mean, in addition to all the tourists, but
yeah, it's a it's an interesting feeling. And yeah, Tokyo, I never really felt like that, just because there are so many people.
hmm.
Um, I don't know if you remember going through Tokyo, but
Yeah, I
it's
was there for a few days towards the end of my stay.
yeah, the
But
like it's like so overwhelming over there sometimes. I think the most overwhelmed I got was when I was walking through Harajuku, I think.
hmm.
Um, and like there was just like so many people like compacted onto this street and um barely had any place to breathe. And that there was just so many people of different ethnicities everywhere. And also saw that in like Shibuya as well. There's a lot of different people there. So yeah,
Right,
I could see like in the Inaka areas that you would feel like that a lot.
right. It's just one of those things where the I think it's just because it's probably not even a thing. It's probably like very likely because of how incredibly isolationist Japan was for the majority of its history.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we're talking. It's been like a matter of decades since they've really opened up their borders in a meaningful way, and so in that sense, it's it's kind of incredible how open they are.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it's just, I mean, no surprise, it's a different culture, it's a different place in the world. Like,
So it's
who'd have
surprisingly that
thought?
surprisingly they kind of like regressed in that aspect kind of a thing
Mm,
where the isolationistic thing kind of came back when COVID happened.
no, yeah, well, I think there's a lot of the old guard who really jumped on that chance as the be like, oh, Japan needs to stay Japan. Like, look what happened when we're letting people in willy nilly and whatever. So that is one
Yeah,
thing. That's probably like the other thing I really don't like with Japan is there's a percentage of the people that are incredibly stubbornly stuck with tradition to like a
yeah.
kind of a dangerous extent almost. Like there's a real refusal to change.
I
Like,
think that's like it's because of the older generation.
right.
Because the older generation lives longer, there's more of them,
Mm.
and the younger generation, they're because Japan has like a their population has kind of been tanking. There
It's a
is
bit of
not,
an upside down pyramid right now.
yeah, it's an upside down pyramid. old people are kind of like the hierarchy and kind of like have all the say.
Yeah,
And it's
it's
unfortunate.
yeah it. There's I mean that could be a whole other discussion. Is the not so good things of Japan, which
Yeah.
I I would want to be a bit more well educated on it before I'd want to say too much about it. But I mean,
Yeah, true.
there's a general feel of. I mean, I think like a good example of it is just like the. I mean, you can kind of get a feel of it with like Japan, like Japanese like game companies and stuff of how there's a real refusal to adapt to the changing times in a
Yeah.
way that's like just very surprising. Like, I mean, I think I was kind of complaining on your stream yesterday about this, but like just like the way they're still very much stuck on like physical consoles, and like the idea of PC gaming like really is an afterthought, like or just in general changing like from the way things are usually done. Like
Yeah.
anytime they want to like make things more efficient, like, oh well, I can't do that. This is how we've always done it. Like, so it's I think
Yeah. n- Like you could totally tell that some game companies are like that. Like Nintendo for an example has those kind of mindsets
yeah,
where they like
Nintendo,
hardly ever change anything.
right,
Like look at the Pokemon series. Look how much that it's like innovated over the years. It really hasn't.
right. Well, and Pokemon's a weird one. I mean, it's an example like I mean, Pokemon's a good example of like nothing really ever changing, but for sure. I mean, and Nintendo's like a weird one in that it's like I mean, Nintendo really is exactly the same company it was back in the '80s, for better or worse.
Yeah.
Because I mean, because they still do like I would still say like they put fun first, like in terms of like they do innovate with the games themselves, um, but they do refuse to do what they don't like to do what everyone else is doing, basically, like, even if it's a good idea. And so Nintendo's always like very much stayed in their own lane, which means that their consoles get progressively farther and farther behind in tech because they only use tech that they develop. And
Yeah.
they,
Yeah, like the Switch, like as great as it is, it's it's still behind. It's it was behind the PS4.
right.
PS4 like did like was much more powerful than the Switch when it came out.
Oh, by mile. Like
And
that's always been like,
then now we have the PS5 and it's like dwarfs it.
yeah. I mean, that could be a whole because I think I don't know if there's ever been a time in history where a Nintendo console was the most advanced console on the market.
Yeah.
They've mostly gotten by on the fact that their consoles are typically cheap, or comparatively cheap to the competition, and that I mean they have a strong game library. Like
Yeah, they do.
they really did make a point of like I can't remember the guy's name from like early on in the company, but like he really had a knack for creating and guiding the creation of like very good games.
Yeah,
And
that's Nintendo's like strongest thing is their IPs.
right,
Like you have like Mario, you have Zelda, you have like just big names, and each game like is pretty unique and really well made.
but
Yeah, that's a tangent.
anyway,
Anyway,
uh,
back to the the main topic.
Yeah, which, as an aside, hello to Lala and Doc. Thanks for stopping in. And also, I like Katoon's idea. We're going to talk about evil Japan next week
Evil Japan.
and why they must be stopped. I mean, that
Yeah,
could be that. I mean, not next week, but like that could be an interesting topic to have at some point. Some
yeah,
of
because
the
even though I like like I have been singing some praises of Japan, like I really do feel I agree with you that there is this other side that's
right,
hardly ever talked about.
right, the
Because like Atune says that people worship them because of like anime and manga, so you don't really see the other side.
right. I mean, because we could talk about black companies, which that's not racist. That's what they're called. But
Uh,
that's a whole
Buraku Kigyo.
yeah, buraku kigyo. But which that's a whole thing that happens. There's the very real like xenophobia that they do have, which probably plays into the whole like the too nice behavior that they have. Like there's it's an interesting thing. There's I mean there's definitely things like I mean I personally they don't if you're not born in Japan you don't get to be a citizen. You don't ever have the power of voting in their country. You don't get any kind of you're
Yeah,
basically like a you can get a card that basically makes you like a permanent temporary visitor in the eyes of the government. That's like the best you can hope for. It's a whole there's weird things there,
yeah. There's a big list.
but I mean, and
I feel like it's though it's about the same as here as well, the U.S. Like
yeah, in some ways, like and that's why like
it,
I'd really want to do more research for want to get into it. Like, but
I think for anywhere, like no matter where you want to live or whatever, there's always going to be pros and cons to whatever
right,
place you go to.
no, yeah, there's no such thing as like a utopia, except maybe
Yeah.
Canada.
Nah, I don't know.
I'm kidding. Um,
No, no, the only utopia is Antarctica. I've heard that place is really nice.
it's you know what, it's
I
never
heard they
too
have
hot.
good penguins.
Yeah,
It
actually,
is never too hot.
is Antarctica the place? No, that's the South Pole. Yeah, you're right. There's penguins there. I was about to. I'm not gonna try.
Yeah, I was saying like there's the penguins there. There's
There's the research station,
yeah, the research station. There's
but
plenty of water.
there is. You just gotta warm it up in your hands yourself. But no, yeah. So I mean, that could definitely be an interesting topic for another day, though. I definitely want to have my
Researching cap.
research in hand. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean,
So
there really are things that could be talked about like that are never talked about, and but I would I don't know. I don't
so
want to say anything that's not true or like it's inaccurate. So I'd want to But anyway,
so let me ask you a question.
sure thing, boss.
This is like going going back a bit.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite type of food that you ate there?
Oof. Like any kind of food or like a
Yeah,
meal.
yeah, like meal, Japanese meal, or what was kind of like the best like food that you ate there?
Right. Oh man. That's that's such a hard question like in a lot of ways. Um
Like
I
you don't really have like a type of food that you really like. Was it like sushi? Did you really like how the sushi was made there? Or...
right. I mean, I guess for me it's kind of like cuz a lot of like for me the a lot of the food is like the memories that kind of comes with it, right?
Yeah.
And so I mean like in terms of like the pure taste like the most enjoyable thing I had was probably just gyudon, honestly. I just loved. Like it's kind of a simple dish in some ways, but I just have strong memories of like going to ski a gyudon with friends and stuff. That's like a restaurant chain over there. But then also just like it's just like genuinely just like it was also like one of the few meals I could make at home reliably and not ruin it. So like I probably gyudon is my favorite. Maybe a okonomiyaki is also really good though. It is tough. Anyway, did you have one in mind when you asked this question?
Yeah, like I really like Japanese curry.
Oh yeah, it's a
Um,
classic.
my favorite place to eat at was the Koko Ichiban. Koko Ichiban was my it's like it's incredibly cheap curry store,
Yeah,
curry
was that
shop.
the one that has like the tickets, or is that
No, I think it's something else.
okay?
But they're usually this like really small like restaurant chain, and uh, basically you just go in, you get like a giant plate of curry and rice. There's a Kokoichi in California. Is there?
Oh,
Jesus Christ! Why can't I could live in California? Well,
you
actually, I
don't.
don't. I
I was
don't
gonna
want
say
to live in
that
California.
there's
I
no
don't.
there's no reason good enough to live there, but we could go on a
Yeah,
field trip,
I think a field trip would be good. But yeah,
podcast
like
field trip. Well,
Kokuichi, Kokuichi is what was my favorite when I went to Japan.
okay.
And I also liked uh, Hamakatsu, which
Mm-hmm.
is basically like katsu chicken with like sauce and
Endless cabbage.
endless cabbage. It's really good. I only had it once when I went back in November
Oh yeah.
because apparently it's only in the south that they have hamakatsu.
Oh
It's
yeah.
only in like southern Japan
Hmm.
because like
Interesting.
in Osaka and in Tokyo there was none.
Hmm. Well, the more you
So
know.
unfortunate. But I loved those katsu places
Fair.
because like they would give you this like sauce and then you would put it you so first you'd get like a little bowl and then you would get these sesame seeds and put them in the bowl and then crush them up yourself and then get
Mm-hmm.
the sauce and then pour the sauce on top of the sesame seeds, mix it up, and then dip your katsu chicken in it. It was so good.
It's some good stuff.
Yeah,
It's a fun one for sure. Yeah, no,
I love
there's
that.
a lot of just good, tasty things.
I actually had a gyudon on the day before on the day that I left.
Oh yeah,
I had it at the airport. There
good.
there was one of the chains, one of the big chains.
Okay.
Uh it was like orange, I think the sign, maybe.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about? You know which one I'm talking about?
Maybe that because yeah, there was. That's probably the other one because oh, what was that one called? I think like did it have like a swirl on it? trying to think.
Maybe. Hold on. This is gonna
But,
bother me.
but anyway,
This is gonna bother me. I need to know. I need to know what it
well,
was
while
called.
you're figuring that out, I guess. But yeah, so I mean, I think I know what one you're talking about. The one I always went to the most, if it was available at least, was called Skia Gyudon
Gyudon.
because they had the incredible Gyudon challenge that you were obligated to do by honor or for honor even every time you went to Skia Gyudon, and that was to order the king size Gyudon. And you had to eat the whole thing by yourself, and if you did it, you won the award for being the fattest person at the table.
Really?
That's it wasn't like it wasn't like a special challenge they did or anything. You didn't get a prize for it. They would just like raise an eyebrow if you ordered it and be like, "All right, your funeral, you idiot. Here, have four people's worth of gyudon in one sitting, and then
Oh my goodness.
consider the consequences of your actions afterwards." But because I mean,
That
because basically what the king size was is that they used to do a thing. It used to be on the menu as the family bowl, and it literally was meant like it was a bowl for like to feed like a family for like two adults and two kids kind of a thing. And it was taken off the menu for some reason or other, but it's still like it's on the secret menu now. So like it's never like listed on the menu, but you could always go up to the cashier and be like, ah, king saizu ga dekimasu ka? And they'd either be like, no, get out of here, you idiot, or they'd be like, oh yeah, we can help you, you idiot. It's like either way you're being shamed, but hey, sometimes you got really good food.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But I freaking
Ah,
loved.
well, I really love getting Indo curry there.
Oh, that's right. Like, because there's a huge, at least like in southern Japan, and maybe it's the whole country. Like, there's a pretty sizable population of like people actually from India, but then like a lot of like Nepalese people.
Yeah,
They move in there and they'll open up like Indo curry shops as well.
yeah. I went to a Nepalese Indo curry shop in Kyoto,
Yeah,
and it was pretty good.
they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
Like,
they know what they're doing, and they're like very friendly.
right? Like, I mean, not like I don't want to necessarily typecast, but if I ever like walked into an Indo curry place and I saw it was like being run by like some Nepalese guys, I'd be like, oh hell yeah, like this is gonna be good Indo curry. Which that's actually this is kind of an aside, but like probably the best ramen I had while I was in Japan. It was run by this like little old Filipino woman, and she
Oh,
didn't
really?
speak English or Japanese. But you'd walk into her restaurant, and she'd just give you a bowl of something and charge you $6 for it, and it tasted delicious. That's all you needed. Like
Where was that at?
that was down in Okinawa actually.
Okinawa.
Yeah, it was like this like little. It was like this little like hole in the wall place just off the Kokusai down there. We got dragged in there actually. I think her daughter was like outside, like in the street, like literally just like grabbing people and like taking them into the restaurant. And we were got pulled.
What
It was
What
funny.
did she say to you? She like speaking to you in English, going like, "Hey, come and get
Yeah,
come get ramen."
no, yeah, she mean because like she actually could speak English, or I mean, either she could speak English, or she was really good at faking it. Because she basically she like waved us down. She's like, "Hey, do you like ramen?" We're like, "Yeah." She's like, "Come here, come here, come here." And we're like, "Well, we just had lunch like an hour ago." And she's like, "No, no, come here, come here." And like we were, I mean, at least for me, like I'd only been in Japan for like maybe a week at that point. So like I didn't know nothing. I was like, "Man, this is what happens normally." Mike but yeah, so I was like, I guess we're going. But it was like the best ramen ever, and we went back there multiple times afterwards.
Yeah. Oh man, I also liked udon.
Oh
Udon
yeah,
was good. Like those places where you just get udon noodles and then you could get like some like tempura on the side,
hmm,
stuff like that. Those were always so good.
yeah,
Oh, but do you want to know what the greatest thing was?
yeah, huh?
The greatest thing.
Greatest thing.
Yes.
I'm waiting with bated breath.
When I went in November,
Mm-hmm.
the best thing that I ate, well, in the top three things, it was McDonald's.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually, yeah, the Japanese Mickey D's is is pretty okay, actually.
Yeah, I'm not even joking when I say that. Um,
No,
like
I actually,
Japanese McDonald's just like hits differently.
It
I'm
hit,
telling you,
it hit different though.
it really does.
I,
They
I,
had the
I agree though.
they had this burger. It was so good. It was kind of like this. I forgot what it was called. It was like roasted soy sauce burger or something like that.
Hmm.
And it was essentially just like a regular uh, double cheeseburger kind of a thing, but
Hmm.
with like the meat was like soaked in like teriyaki sauce or like cooked in teriyaki sauce. And it
Hmm.
was like mixed in with the meat, cooked with the meat. And then it had some like it didn't have a lot of toppings on it, but it had some.
Hmm.
And the moment I bit into that I was like, my mind was like blown
Yeah.
sky high. Like I sat there and I was like, is this truly McDonald's that I'm having right now? And
Yeah.
then I finish eating it and I'm like, shit, I need another one. So I like get back up and then I'm like, yeah, もう一つ これ欲しい
Yeah.
and and then I ate it and I was like, okay, I'm probably coming back here tomorrow. Very cheap, but it was so good.
That's the other thing. Like
And
the prices are pretty fair. Like
yeah, that was the another nice thing about eating out. You could eat out really cheap.
that's true, actually.
Yeah.
Like I remember going to there's a place called Hotomoto. They basically
Oh
say
yeah,
do
Hotomoto.
to go lunches, basically like little bento boxes. And I want to say it was like $5 for like a very nice amount of food.
Yeah.
Like I mean I think and there were even some curry places like little like mom and pop places where I swear the curry was like it was like 350 for like a plate of curry. Not that
Yeah.
like everything was that cheap, but like it was crazy. Like you could feasibly get like a whole meal of food for not much at all.
Yeah, and like ramen can be pretty cheap as well.
Mm,
Like sometimes like you go to like one of those places and you could just like press the ticket on the vending machine. It'll be just cheap.
oh yeah, everything. Those ticket places. Which do you want to explain how those work real quick, just for funsies?
Okay.
It's free.
Huh?
Huh? I was gonna say like if you want, do you want to explain what those are real quick?
Oh, you could explain them.
Oh,
You
I
can explain
okay,
them.
fine. All right. Picture yourself in a world where that world is Japan, and you're going to a restaurant. Anyway, but like instead of like basically like instead of having like waiting staff or like a cash register you paid for at, you would there would just be like a vending machine, like probably like right by the entrance of the store, and it just had a full list. Like every button was like one of the things on the menu, and then you basically would just like you would just like put in dollar coins, and then you'd punch whatever button you want and spit out a ticket and your change, and you'd go give the ticket to the chef, and he'd make it, and you'd have food.
Yeah, that's it.
It was super easy peasy. It was really cool.
I did that when I was in Shibuya. There was a Shibuya ramen place that I went to, and it was like the best ramen I ever had.
Yeah,
And I like ate outside on one of the tables outside, and it was just fantastic.
nice. Yeah, they're like it's always like the little places like that are always like just end up being so tasty. It's crazy.
Yeah, could not agree more.
Oh man.
Yeah, I've heard about those cake in a can or bread in a can stuff.
Yeah, it's the SpongeBob meme.
Oh, those. I've heard about them, but I've never tried them.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. I'm trying to think. There were some. What was the weirdest thing you ever had in Japan, Zyga?
The weirdest thing? I don't know.
Or like maybe like the thing that
I
surprised you the most, or something like that.
um maybe it was when we had that I think I was with you and we remember when Tokuyama was having that they had like a festival at one point on one of the
Oh,
days.
I do kind of remember like randomly walking into like a festival on the streets
Yeah.
because we didn't know it was scheduled for that day.
Yeah, there was like there was some sort of festival going on. They had booths everywhere.
Yeah.
And I remember going to one of the booths and I got like a um octopus leg that was like
Oh,
dipped in some sort of like sauce.
I think I remember that actually. It was like on a stick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I did not get one of those.
yeah, I got one of those and I tried it and that was one of the weirdest things I've ever made.
Okay.
And I never want to have it again.
You know what? You can say you bought weird food from a street vendor. You can cross it off your bucket list.
It's like because like octopus they have like the suction cups.
Yeah, it's I've never did like a like straight octopus, but I've eaten like takoyaki and stuff, and I mean, octopus has like it's a weird texture for me. I could never get quite behind it personally.
The goldfish scooping a real thing at some festivals? Uh, I don't think so. I think maybe in like maybe some like Inaka festivals,
Maybe.
but like when we I don't remember seeing anything like that in Okayama.
Yeah, I don't.
Or when I went to the festival in Fukuoka, the Christmas festival, they didn't really have anything like that.
Right. I mean, that could be something that's a bit more traditional. Like, or I wonder if that's maybe something that'd be like a school festival thing, like kind of like carnival,
Yeah.
kind of more than like a. I don't know. 'Cause, yeah, I don't remember. So I went to like some New Year's Eve, like some New Year's Eve festivals, or I guess it would have been like New Year's Day, but I don't remember ever seeing the goldfish scoop actually.
I think I remember like watching like a clip of um there's this YouTuber, his name is Giguk. He's part of the Trash Taste crew.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him talking in a video, I think, about like how he went to a festival and it was like it shattered his dreams because like um you're always like thinking from anime that it's gonna be like, oh, they have like the goldfish scooping, they have like the stuff where you could shoot things, they have all these little like mini games everywhere. But he was like, there was none of that.
Right. Well, that's the thing is like I think anime creates a very nostalgic version of those things, right? It's
Yeah,
kind of like they always paint the idealized version. Like maybe that really is like how they were back in the day, or like some aspect. Like maybe there's like never one festival that would have like all the things, but it's like all the things that people like liked the most, kind of like being bundled together like in this one super festival for the anime.
yeah.
I think there's definitely a lot of that. I mean, it's kind of like the because I mean, like, because like I think the other trope is like school festivals where like all the classes will have their own activities they're doing for it or whatever, and it's like it's always like the same three things that those classes are doing. It's like, oh, we're gonna do a maid cafe, or it's a haunted house, or we're got like a food booth. That's like what you always see every time.
I wonder what school festivals are actually like.
I mean, I don't. I can't swear on this, but I feel like sanitation law would prohibit students from cooking food of any kind. For one, um, for like, I mean, costumes are probably allowed during festivals, but anything that's like overly fan servicey probably doesn't actually happen.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, there's definitely like, I'm sure there's like a version of those tropes, but again, it's like the anime version probably cranks up way more than it ever really happens in real life. But
Unfortunate. Why can't we just live in an anime world?
look, Elon Musk is working on it. He's getting his cat girls any day now.
Yeah, where is the online sort, the actual real Sword Art Online?
Oh,
When is that
the government's hiding it from us. They don't want us to know.
I would really love to live in Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
When are they gonna announce the VR Final Fantasy so I could just like live in there
yeah.
and then yeah.
I mean, you think you're joking about that one, but I think like crazy immersive VR is probably not. I mean, this is a whole other topic, but I think VR of that degree is not. I mean, it's like within our lifetime,
Yeah.
like, and not even like as far off into your lifetime as you think. Like probably like maybe like 20 years at the most is what I would guess.
Well, well, you never know because like about maybe like a year ago, maybe did we ever think that that AI stuff would get this good?
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like AI is advancing crazy. Like, what was it 2021? Like AI art was kind of happening. People were like exclusively making fun of it. And now here we are in 2023, and AI art is like, if you don't know, it looks just as good as actual like things drawn by real artists. Like in the span of 2 years, like Chat GPT,
Yeah,
like,
ChatGPT is like the biggest thing right now.
and it's like, I mean, there's like, I mean, that's like the big famous one. Like, there's so many like that that are like that are becoming like stunningly good at like language modeling, basically, like in sounding conversational. And
Oh,
so,
so you never know. Maybe it's maybe Nerve Gear is right around the corner.
I mean, again, I think like we're not that far away from having like, I mean, basically once like VR. I mean, because VR is like still a little pricey. It's the Quest has definitely made them cheaper or more reachable, but the second VR becomes like mainstream affordable, like it's gonna just explode from there.
Yeah.
It's like, anyway, that's a whole other topic.
Yeah, I embrace our robot overlords.
Yeah,
I already watched one of them.
yeah,
I don't know if you guys have ever watched it, but there is a AI VTuber who's really
yeah.
great.
I, I would like it more, except for the slimy corporation behind it. But that's just me.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Huh?
What are you talking
Which one
about?
are you talking about?
Talking about Neurosama.
Yeah,
There's no slimy corporation behind Neurosama. It's just one guy.
if you say so.
No, it's true.
All right. I watched my internet conspiracy theory videos today. I don't know about you.
You're. Those are conspiracy videos.
Yeah. And everyone knows if it's a conspiracy, it must be true. On
Yes.
that note, we're gonna probably should just start wrapping this up actually.
Yeah, we've gotten way off topic.
But anyway, yeah, I think we're gonna wrap this up. I mean, there's all kinds of other things we could talk about Japan. We could definitely do the dark side Japan, negative Japan sometime. I mean, there's all kinds of things we could delve into more of, but Um, Hatun, I am way ahead of you. I just, I started just putting tin straight into my food and I ingest it. Therefore, even my blood cannot be read by their machines. That's the smartest way to do it. But, um, yeah. How do we want to land this ship, Zyga?
Well, first we need to put down the sails, and then we need to head into port. And then we need to show our license, maybe a
Yeah,
passport or two.
sure, sure. Sounds good. We'll do just that. It's the same for the VTuber model, but sure. That's a good point. I should get a little tinfoil hat. Gotta protect my VTube brain too. But but yeah, this was I don't know. This is fun stuff to talk about. This wasn't entirely anime related, but it's tangentially relevant,
Yeah.
and so it was fun. I hope anyway. And then probably are we? Do we want to just start doing this like every week? You think, Zyga? Are we at that stage?
I'm fine with whatever you'd like.
All right. So next podcast will be tomorrow. Um,
No, accept that. Accept that. I have to raid tomorrow, okay? I have to raid tomorrow.
all right, late episode tomorrow.
Late episode. I gotta come here straight after raid.
Yeah, and you'll start off with a penalty unless you can have video evidence that you successfully raided and won.
I'll probably be streaming it, maybe.
There you go. So you can go bother Zyga as he raids. What ultimate are you doing? Final Fantasy?
UCOB.
UCOB. Watch
The
Zyga.
ultimate Bahamut. Still.
Yeah, they're doing UCOB flawless. Wait, ultimate Bahamut.
Ultimate Bahamut.
They're gonna be
And
doing the
we're
whole thing in
still
one try tomorrow. See it to believe it.
we're still trying to get through Evan's 12 trio. It's it's just it's just a long fight. It's really long. It's
Watch
exhausting.
watch Zyga choke in real time.
But I'm also I've been playing I've been streaming a other games sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like yesterday I streamed Altair Ryza Atelier Ryza. I think that's what it's called.
Oh yeah, yeah. However you say it.
However you say it. I streamed that um last night. And I'll probably stream it more often. Maybe more tomorrow before raid.
Yeah, possible. And it was fun hanging out and watching that. 'Cause that's a game I've never played. Was curious about. So I'm glad you're going through it and not me.
And I actually think you would kind of like it. It sounds like something that would be up your
I mean, it
alley.
does seem pretty chill, honestly. Like just like just cute girls doing alchemy things.
Yeah.
Also, I
So
do
yeah.
I gotta say, Lent got abs for days. I'm pretty sure he has like a 12 pack, which I didn't even think was
That's-
possible. Like just throwing that out there too. Like
I found it so weird that that school bully was just like he was like a bully for like just a second, and then suddenly he was Sundere.
yeah, he was he was a villain long enough for you to realize like, oh, he likes her. Anyway, it's a cute, silly game. Uh,
But yeah, I'll be playing that and streaming tomorrow.
yeah,
Um,
there you go.
and that's about it on my end.
Sounds good. Actually, I'm gonna Just curious if I can successfully do this. I want to see if I can. How do you spell your name? Ten?
Ten poo
Rah rah.
rah rah.
Let's see if that works. I'm just curious. Oh yeah, it did work. That's the link to Zyga.
Yeah, I'll be doing that tomorrow. Uh, there may or may not be an unboxing stream as well.
Ooh, becoming a
I'm like
real VTuber or
I'm
YouTuber.
like waiting for my figure to come in the mail.
Yeah.
It should be coming like any day now.
Oh boy.
I might like open it on stream.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. So there you go.
So yeah, Dark Knight gameplay, fun times. What will you be doing
I
this week? What is your plans this week?
let's see. Tomorrow will be our anime night. We're watching Trigun, and then on Friday, I'm actually starting a new Let's Play series. With Smo. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to reveal further information, but we're doing something on Friday, and I think people will enjoy it. But we're going to be co-streaming that. Then Saturday, I believe we're doing more Terraria. Smo says go for it. Smo, you're here. Jeez. Um, hi. No, yeah, we're gonna be probably playing Yakuza.
Oh, you're gonna play Yakuza?
I think so.
You play Yakuza Zero?
I think we're starting with zero. I think we're going timeline order. I believe.
Dude, Yakuza Zero is such a good game.
Yeah, so
Oh, dude,
we're doing that.
I might even watch you play that.
So,
That's a great game.
so yeah, that's the plan for Friday. And then yeah, Sunday will be Final Fantasy. And I feel like I should mention as a sex. I saw the comment coming earlier. Lala, I've actually started doing accessory type things for for Grayson. I actually, if people have ideas for accessories they want or designs they want, I've been I've been working on adding those or making them. I've actually had it in the I think I've had it in the store for a while. Let me see if this will work actually. This is not going to work, of course, right now, but see if it does. Yeah, it worked. Okay. See, I did this one. I this one, I just like did a bunch of goofy assets I found together. And I don't think that'll actually. Oh, it does go away. Cool. Yeah, that's the. If you see on the store, there's a redeem called swag, and that's what'll activate. But I'm trying to come up with like more costume ideas for things people might want to do. So, um, let me know if you have any things you'd like to see. So, I think that's probably it for today then. Zyga be streaming Rise. I think somebody even wait. I think somebody even offered a tell a teller maybe. Just a tune. But anyway, so is Zyga here?
Yes,
Oh hey, yeah. So but that's what you're like doing that and or your UCOB raids next
yes.
next couple of
Tomorrow,
your streams tomorrow. So
and I'll also probably be gushing about Oshinoko. I think it comes out tomorrow.
oh boy. So there you go. Can look forward to that. But yeah, so that's I think that's plans. And then yeah, I'll probably start doing this every Tuesday. At least for a while. I mean, because I think next week we'll probably talk about the season thus far. Or do you want to give it a week or two more?
Uh, I don't know. I mean, are you gonna watch stuff?
I look, I'll be watching something. I can't not guarantee that it won't be Sonic Boom for the third time, but look, we're gonna, I'll contribute.
Will you?
I showed up today.
You
I
did show up today,
see. I am helping.
and
We're equal. We're equal here.
I saw that you did start Stormblood, so at least you did that.
I did. I blooded all the storms.
Yeah, but have you started Shadowbringers yet?
Oh, 2027. My campaign promise. Vote for Grace and Allen best uh best Grayson 2028, and you two can enjoy the thrill of me playing a game that came out years ago. Anyway, can I go
I think it's
ahead?
getting late. I think it's
Can
getting late.
I get out of here?
I think it's getting really late.
I'm getting kind of sleepy.
I don't know what those words you just said, but you were just like rambling for like a minute. I was like, where is he going with this?
I was really hoping you'd like jump in and stop me, but you never did. You just let me slowly crash that train. Can I get out of here?
All right.
Thanks everybody for coming to hang out. Thanks
Yeah, thanks.
thanks to Hatoon and Smo and Lala. And I saw Doc was here earlier. And thank you to Kathy for the raid and all the folks that came with her. That was cool to see her. Kathy's also a Final Fantasy 14 streamer and occasionally other games as well, apparently.
Mhm.
And Kathy is very cool. So that's it. We're gonna get out of here. Good night, everybody. Good night, Hatoon. Sleep good.
Hey, Ron.
Where's
Have a good
the
one.
where's the end stream button? How do I get out of here? Uh,
Sayonara.
bye.
Janet.